from Comcast. Ma'am, we are very happy to have you with us here. And we are sure that this session is going to be very useful to the entire student community. I welcome you on behalf of the management, the students, faculty members, and the entire faculty community of R.M.D Engineering College. We are very happy to have you with us here. So over to Mr. Dakshinamurthy.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Greeting from R.M.D Engineering College on behalf of the management, deans, principals, HODs of various departments, faculty members, and all the participants. We are thrilled to welcome you to the 8th session of our generic talk series. Today's session is titled Landing Your First Data Analyst Job from Classroom to Career. This insightful talk will be delivered by none other than Ms. Indumathi Gunasekaran, a business intelligence analyst from Comcast in India Engineering Center, Chennai. Before we proceed, we would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to Ms. Indumathi Gunasekaran for graciously accepting our invitation and sharing her valuable time and knowledge with us today. Now, officially call upon Dr. K. Sudarshan, Associate Professor, to give the introduction of our chief guest.
Yeah, it's my pleasure to introduce our esteemed speaker for today's session, Ms. Indumathi Gunasekaran, a distinguished business intelligence analyst at Comcast India Engineering Center in Chennai. Ms. Indumathi Gunasekaran is a data visualization expert with over 6 years of experience in using Tableau. She is passionate about empowering others through a data storytelling. With her exceptional ability to transform complex data sets into meaningful insights, she plays a crucial role in driving business decisions. Indumathi is highly skilled in creating interactive, engaging, and impactful visualization and reports that effectively communicate key performance indicator and trends. Her dedication to utilizing data to solve business problem and contribute to organizational growth makes her a valuable asset to any team. Today, Indumathi will share her journey from classroom to a successful career in data analytics. She will provide insightful tips to help you land your first job as a data analyst. Her experience, passion, and drive for delivering results ensure that she will engage us, inspire all of us. Without further ado, let's welcome Ms. Indumathi Gunasekaran, ma'am. The floor is yours, ma'am. Please take over the session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all the professors for the sweet introduction, and thank you management for having me here. I think we can get started. I'll share my screen. I hope it's visible.
Yes, ma'am. It's visible.
Yeah. Okay. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining the talk today with me. So today you will be having me talking about how you could transform your career for a data analyst, how you could find your first job as a data analyst from someone being in the classroom to finding a successful career as a data analyst. Hello, I'm Indu. Much of my introductions are already covered, but having a bit of it here. So I work as a business intelligence analyst at Comcast India, and previously I was a data analyst at Accenture. You can follow me at the Data Stories to learn more about my projects and my work. So Data Stories is the community that I created for the fellow data enthusiasts, especially the visualization experts, Tableau and Power BI developers. So we share ideas and thoughts in this community. Yeah. Data analytics is being a common buzzword these days. Whether you're to YouTube, Instagram, or anywhere on the internet, you hear a lot of people talking about data analytics, Power BI, Tableau, and a lot more related to data analytics. And it has become a buzzword these days. So, before actually getting into the topic of data analytics, let's first understand what the data in data analytics is meaning. So, this is a textbook information I can say about data. Let me give you a small example that would make you understand what actually data is. So, for the purpose of this example, I have taken the trip planning thing. People are traveling a lot these days than ever before. So let's talk about this phase of planning for a trip. Let's say you're planning to go to Goa for your trip, and you're asking in your friends group which are the friends that would be interested in joining you to go to Goa. And first is that you have decided with the place, then another friend is coming up with a suggestion of when he or she would be available. Then you're deciding about the accommodation. So all these throughout all these process, everything that you see as pieces like the place suggestion, date suggestion, accommodation suggestion, all these are what is called as data. So data looks like this unorganized piece of information. And in the real world, when you're actually planning for a trip with your friend, the conversation does not go as smooth as you see here. So all of you will be coming up with your own places, and all of you will be suggesting your own dates when you're available. Then you put together all these information and find a common date and a common place when you all will be available. And then you decide about where you want to go, when you want to go, what's going to be the mode of accommodation, what's going to be the mode of transportation. All those are decided further. First is that you all people will be putting your own suggestion, and with all the suggestion that is put on the table, you analyze it, you find the common interest that is suiting for all of them in your friends group, and then you come up with the decision. So this is what we call as data, the suggestions that you are putting forward, the pieces, unorganized pieces, that is called as data. Now coming back to the textual definition, so data is a pile of unorganized bricks, and you collect data by various means like surveys, transactions, social media, sensors, etc. Then when the data looks unorganized, you put it all together, you organize it and analyze the data, and then it becomes the information. Now in our case, the information here is your friends groups are planning to go on a trip to Goa in the first week of August, and you all will be staying in a villa. This is the information. But when it is all looking separate, it is a data. Now let's understand what data analytics is. So data analytics means analyzing the data to identify patterns and trends, and you draw visualizations and charts to talk about the patterns and trends that you have identified, and finally make an informed decision out of it. Do not worry if this is sounding complex to you. All these are simple English terms like identifying patterns, drawing conclusions, and making informed decision. All these are simple English terms. But if you are confused about how these English terms are correlated to the data analytics world, let me tell you another short story that will talk about the whole process of what data analytics is. So we have a friend named Zara, and Zara, after her graduation, is planning to open an ice cream stall in her neighborhood. And Zara, while opening the stall itself, was very clear that she wanted to make her stall as popular or as famous as possible. So for this purpose, Zara has started taking a note of the number of ice creams that she is selling each day, along with other information like the date and the time when the ice cream is sold and the cost on which the ice cream is sold on that particular day. And then one day, Zara is meeting her friend Sam. Sam, being an intelligent friend of Zara, is suggesting Zara to use Microsoft Excel to collect these data so that the data looks organized. Now that Zara has started using Microsoft Excel for collecting the data, she's again collecting the same data, the number of ice creams that are selling each day, the date and the time on which the ice creams are sold, the cost price or any discount details, all those informations. She's again collecting the same data, but now in Microsoft Excel, so the data looks more organized now. And then after collecting all these data, Zara's again meeting with Sam. Now both of them are sitting together analyzing the data, and they are finding that chocolate and vanilla are the most popular flavors in Zara's store. Also, they found that Zara's store is most busiest in the afternoon, especially in between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. So what do you think they might have done after this? So they have the data, they analyzed the data, and they found that chocolate and vanilla are the popular flavors, and the store is busiest in the afternoon. So what do you think they might have done after this? Zara decided that she could stock more and more of vanilla and chocolate flavored ice cream in her store. And she also came up with an idea of including some special offers and discounts during the peak times. So, peak time in our case is the afternoon hours for the Zara store. So, with this decision that they have made, now Zara store is seeing a lot of customers coming, and her store has become much popular among her neighborhood as she initially imagined. So this is the whole process of data analytics. Now let's talk about the data analytics definition again with this story. So data analytics is that you collect the data and then you organize the data. Now Zara is organizing data in Microsoft Excel. Then you analyze the data to identify patterns and trends. So here the patterns and trends that are identified is chocolate and vanilla are the popular flavors, and the store is busiest in the afternoon. So this is the identification of trends that Zara and Sam made with the data that they had. And then with these insights that you have identified, you make an informed decision. The informed decision that is made here is to stock a lot more of chocolate and vanilla flavored ice creams and to include special offers. So based on the insights, they are making business decision, and this business decision finally leads to upscaling the business, finally leads or helps in the business growth. This is the whole process of data analytics. This is what we do in the real world. We take the data, we organize the data, clean the data, and find some insights or trends or patterns in the data and make a business decision out of all these. This is the whole process of data analytics. Now, to whom this data analytics is for? So, data analytics is for anyone that loves solving complex situations and finding logical solutions. Now, in our case, the situation that we have solved is we want to make Zara store as popular as possible. So that is the that is the goal that we had in mind, and based on that we did the analysis, made the decision, and made the store popular in the end. And the data analytics is for anyone who loves working with numbers, because in the data analytics you would already have heard about people making dashboards in Tableau and Power BI. There are other data analytics tools available as well, but for this discussion, let's stick to Tableau and Power BI so it doesn't sound confusing. So you are going to make dashboards in Tableau and Power BI, and by the end of the day, you are going to see a lot of numbers in your dashboard. So you should be comfortable working with these numbers, and you should have an interest for analyzing trends and patterns. And you're going to present your dashboard to the business users, and these business users are the one that are going to make business decisions. And these business users are mostly non-technical people, so they don't understand what is the Microsoft Excel formula that you have used, which analytics tool that you have used for building the analytics, whether or not you have used any Python for data cleaning. They don't bother about any of the technical stuffs that you have done prior. They only bother about the insights insights and the trends and the patterns that you are bringing to the table. Again, in our case, the insights are trends and patterns that we have found is chocolate and vanilla being popular and the store being busiest in the afternoon. Business users only worry about the insights that you have found. Prior to this, whatever you have done technically, they don't bother about it because they are non-technical people. So you have to present your dashboard in a clear and concise manner. You should be able to explain your insights and findings both verbally and visually in a clear and concise manner, so these business users understand what is that you actually have found. So data analytics is for anyone who puts in all these categories. Now, talking about the essential skills for becoming a data analyst. So, I have put together all these skills in the orders that you can learn. First is that you can start with learning Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel is a powerful cleaning tool. A lot of pre-processing, data pre-processing and cleaning could be done in Microsoft Excel. And you could also build dashboards and visualizations in Excel as well. It's a data analytics tool. So you could start with learning Excel, learning all the Excel formulas. Then you could go ahead learning SQL or otherwise SQL. I love calling it SQL. A lot of people say it SQL. So you could learn SQL. We will see why learning each of these is important for data analytics in the upcoming slides. And after completing the SQL, you could learn any one of the data visualization tool, either Tableau or Power BI. My go-to is Tableau. So for the students that I meet with, I always prefer students learning Tableau first because Tableau is student friendly and the interfaces are amazing for students, for newbies to start with learning data visualization. And then after learning Tableau or either Power BI, you could go ahead learning Python. Again, Python is not mandatory. So if you are from a non-CSE background joined here, don't be surprised about Python taking a role here for the data analytics job. So 80 out of 100 job listings doesn't specify Python, doesn't ask you to have Python as a mandatory skill, but still there are 20 out of 100 job listings that list Python. They ask for Python. Python is a powerful data cleaning tool. Again, not underestimating the power of Python and the libraries that it has for helping us in data cleansing. Still, it's a good to have skill. If you have time, you can learn Python as well. And finally, soft skills, as we talked about, we are going to deal with business users who are non-technical people. So you should have a clear communication skill, and analytical and problem solving skills are again important for a data analyst. Let's talk about each of these skills one by one. First is that Excel. So I have listed here few of my favorite resources for learning Excel. So for each of these skills, I have listed my favorites. So these are free resources, mostly YouTube channels. They help you learn by your own. So for Excel's, my first go to is Microsoft Excel Learning. Microsoft itself has learning platform, learning paths where you could learn all of the Excel formulas and the possibilities that you could do in Excel. And my next go to is Alex the Analyst, my favorite YouTube channel for both Excel and SQL. Um, then you could also consider learning from Simply Learn. Excel is fun and tutorials point. Then SQL. So SQL, why do you want to learn SQL as a data analyst? So SQL is mostly used for talking to the databases. Data is collected and is stored in the database. Now you want to retrieve the data from the database so you could analyze the data. So for retrieving the data from the database, SQL is the language that you use for talking to the database, and SQL commands help you to query the database. SQL is a easy learning thing. It is no complex like other programming languages. It is not a programming language at all in the first place. SQL is a scripting language, so it is easy to learn. Most of the commands in SQL are simple English commands. so it's easier for anybody to learn. So my go-to for learning SQL is HackerRank SQL challenge. So HackerRank has a list of challenge, starting from easy to the hard level. So you'll have to solve all the SQL challenges, and once you solve all of them, you earn a badge and a certificate. So you earn a 5-star badge and a certificate. So it's HackerRank is the place where you solve the SQL challenge. So before solving the challenge, you should actually learn SQL. So for learning SQL from the very basic, you can consider going through the contents in the W3 school. They are amazing. The contents in the W3 school are amazing. Even after learning SQL, after mastering SQL, if at any time you come up with a doubt in the syntax or in the syntax, you can always refer to the contents in the W3 school. And after completing the learning here in W3 school, take up the challenge in HackerRank, earn the 5-star badge and the certificate. Then go to Ankit Bansal's YouTube channel. Ankit Bansal's YouTube channel has a lot of practical questions for SQL. So they have real world data set, real world questions. So they'll give you the data set, they'll give you the question. You will have to write SQL to come up with the answer that they are expecting. So most of the questions posted here are what we solve in the industry. So they are real world challenges that Ankit Bansal posts. It's a very good channel for learning SQL, and could also consider learning from Alex the Analyst and Chandu for SQL. Then we have Tableau. Tableau is the data visualization tool. So in Tableau, you are going to build charts, graphs, and finally put together all these charts and graphs, and you call them as dashboard. So Tableau is a powerful data visualization tool. For learning Tableau, SQL Belly's YouTube channel is the best. Even after being 5 to 6 years with Tableau, I still consider learning from SQL Belly's YouTube channel. It's a very good resource for Tableau. Tableau Tim is also a fine resource, and Andy tutorials point and Edureka are again another good resources, free resources for learning Tableau. So while learning Tableau, consider attending boot camps. I myself have attended 3 to 4 boot camps. All of them are free. So these boot camps take a concept in Tableau. They did not teach you end to end, but they take a particular concept, and for 3 or 4 weeks together, they teach that concept. They make you thorough with that concept, and by the end of the boot camp, they also give you the data set and real world problems. So you'll have to build the dashboard for the problem statements that they are suggesting. These boot camps are again another amazing thing that you can participate in. And there are also hackathons taking place specifically for data visualization. I have organized one such hackathon, I think 3 or 4 months prior. I have organized a data visualization hackathon that is for the data visualization enthusiasts. So what is done there is, mostly in the hackathon you would have heard about people solving coding challenges. So they either code in Java, Python, or any other language. That is how hackathons take place. So I came up with this idea of organizing hackathon for data visualization enthusiasts. So what we do here is we provide the data set, we give you the challenge statement. So you have to build a data set to solve this business problem. You have to build a dashboard to solve this business problem. So that is how the question looks like. Then you analyze the data set and build dashboards, come up with insights to solve the business problem that is asked for you to solve. That is how data visualization hackathons take place. There are lots of hackathons being organized. Those are not being popular. You can search about those hackathons on the internet and participate in it. So participating doesn't always mean you should win those hackathons, but the perks of participating in those hackathons is that you get to meet other people who have the same interest as that of yours. So you get to meet people who share the similar skill sets and similar interest as that of yours, and that's a great way to network. And again, consider consider going through Tableau Public all the time while you learn Tableau. Tableau Public has a lot of dashboards published by other Tableau developers like you. So you could go through those dashboards in your initial stages, take that as a reference, and try recreating those dashboards. Tableau Public is a good, very good repository that has a lot of amazing Tableau dashboards. And then finally, Tableau conferences. You could consider attending Tableau conferences as well. These Tableau conferences are directly organized by Tableau itself. So people from Salesforce, people from Tableau organize these conferences, and the ticket prices might seem very high for us, but after the conferences they post few of the videos, few of the workshops, and few of the talks in their YouTube channel. So we could consume those content for free. So if you are not thinking about purchasing the tickets for the Tableau conference, you could wait for the conference to over, and then wait for the videos to get released so you can watch it for free. And then Power BI again. So you could decide between Tableau and Power BI. Do not learn both at a time, because the only thing that is important here is data visualization skills. Data visualization skills means which is the chart that you want to use in your dashboard. Whether for this data set, would a line chart suit or a bar chart suit? So deciding the charts and decide applying the data visualization skills is much important than choosing the tool. So choose any one of the tool, learn them thoroughly, and then if you are interested in exploring the other tool, you can do so. Do not do both at a time. One at a time is the best thing to do here. So for learning Power BI, the good resources, good YouTube channels are How to Power BI, SQL BI, Guy in a Cube, BI Elite, and Enterprise DNA. They are in no particular order. All of them are amazing YouTube channels. It posts very good contents. It will be helpful for learning Power BI. Then talking about Python, as I've already said, it's not the mandatory skill to have as a data analyst, especially for the beginners. You need not to overwhelm yourself with learning all of the Python, but still there are certain jobs, a very limited jobs, 20% of the jobs that ask you to be familiarized with the Python libraries for data analytics. So why do we use Python for data analytics in first place? Python is used for data cleaning mostly. There are again another concepts like data scraping, which you need not to be confused with yourself in this stage. But now just remember, you use Python for data cleaning. Python offers powerful libraries like NumPy, Pandas. All these are the powerful libraries that help you make your take your data cleaning to the next level. So you could do the basics of data cleaning with Microsoft Excel, but if you want to do some advanced cleaning, then you go for using Python. So it helps you handle the missing values, remove duplicates, and transform your data into a more suitable one for the analysis. Uh, Again, for Python is used for numerous purposes in the IT industry. A lot of backend people use Python, and a few of the front end people use Python. So you need not to learn all of the Python, all of the concepts that is available in Python, like data structures, oops concepts. All those are not necessary at all. So for data analytics, be sure that if you are planning to learn Python, make your keywords in such a way that you search for Python for data analytics. So only there are only there are handful of libraries in Python that are used for data analytics, and it's enough to learn them. And need not to master the concepts of data structures, oops concepts. Those are not necessary for data analyst here. So for Python, for data analytics, the best YouTube resource is Krish Nayak's resource. I learned Python from Krish Nayak's YouTube channel. You could also consider learning from Code Basics and Luke's YouTube channel. um, Now, the projects. So while learning, do not keep on learning one after the another. So you learn Excel, then you go ahead learning SQL, Tableau, and then Python. Just don't continue learning at all. Once you complete a concept in SQL, start developing the projects. Be it a very simple, very minor project, let it be, but just start doing some projects using the real world data set. So you get yourself exposed to what's happening in the real world. These projects exposes you to the real world environment. So when you complete the basics of SQL to a small project, and when you complete the intermediate level to a still advanced project, and when you complete the advanced level to a still more complex project, at any point in your learning, continue doing the project parallelly. These projects only will tell you how much of the skills that you have acquired are actually can be applicable in the real world. And these projects provides you a great foundation, because a lot many times the SQL query that you are writing would not give you the right results. Your Python code will break, and the dashboards you built would not look visually appealing, would not look that very good when you publish it. So only when you do the project you will understand where in all you are lacking and where in all you can improve on. So now, while talking about the project, it's important that your project stands out, because let's say 200 of you are attending this talk today, and maybe after this talk 100 of you have decided to take on data analytics as your take data analytics as your career, and you start with your preparation for the data analytics. Either you have decided to watch contents in the YouTube in for your preparation journey, or let's say you have signed up for a course. Let's say by any means you have started your data analytics journey. So once you have completed learning, all of you might start working on the project. So you might search in the internet what is that project that you can do for SQL, what's the project that you can do for Tableau or Excel. So it gives you the same set of result for all of you in your search. So you end up doing the same project. So let's say 100 of you have have done the same project. So all your resume might look similar, with the same information, same project explained in your resume. So when you sit for the actual interview, the interviewer might have already seen hundreds of resume that have talked about the same project. So you miss your chance of standing out in the crowd. So all of your resume are talking about the same thing. There is nothing that is interesting the interviewer, so he could hire you, and you ultimately lose your chance of standing out in the crowd. So what you can do for this is you come up with a unique project. You think about solving a problem that is very unique to you. For example, in my case, so I thought of opening a savings account. I thought of opening a new type of savings, and I identified that the amount of money that I should put into for this saving is not enough in my salary. Although I'm earning good, I'm not able to allocate a certain amount from my salary for this particular saving. So this surprised me. So I thought of analyzing my spending habits to actually understand where my money is going. So what I did is I collected the data from the bank statement, from my own bank statement and my credit card statement, and from the information from the budgeting apps. I do not wish to enclose the budgeting apps that I use, but I collected information from here. So once I have all these data, I did some pre-processing using Microsoft Excel and SQL. And once I have the actual data ready for analysis, I built the dashboard to understand my spending habits. And this helped me identify where my money is actually going. So, one thing that I want to clarify here is the data that I handle here is a very secure data. It is my monetary information, financial data. So, I ensured security throughout the process. And before publishing, I scraped all of the data, and only after knowing all of the data are scraped neatly, I published the dashboard online. Again, for scraping, I used SQL and Excel for replacing the original data with dummy data. Scraping is nothing but you replace the original data with the dummy data. You remove all the confidential information and replace it with some dummy information. That is what is scraping. Again, that has become another project as well. So although this might look a very common project, because financial data analysis is not something new, but how this project made me stand out is this told a story that was very unique to me. So all the analysis that I came up with are very unique to my lifestyle, to my spending habits, and they are very unique to the location that I am residing in. What are the prices for the commodities in the location that I am living in? All these are very unique to me. So that made the project interesting, and it made the project stand out. So you should choose a project that makes you stand out in the crowd. So if you are becoming one in all the hundreds, then there is very less chance of you getting selected. And finally, creating a portfolio. Again, portfolio is a collection of your project. You do all your projects, and what people do, major mistake that people do is they publish all their codes in the GitHub and expect the interviewer to read the code to know the projects that they have done. No, in the data analytics interview, again, business users are going to interview you, and these users are non-technical audience. They cannot go through the lines and lines of codes that you've written and published in your GitHub. So create a portfolio. Your portfolio is something like for the projects, you can highlight 2 to 3 of your best projects, explain about the project's goal, the data that you've used, what's the tools and technologies that you have implied, and finally your key findings. And then emphasize on the challenge that you have faced and how you overcome them. This is what will make your project unique, because the challenges that you are facing is very unique to you, and how you have overcome that. We'll talk about your thought process, we'll talk about your analytical and problem solving skills, which are very very unique to you. And then consider including visuals like screenshots, add charts to make your portfolio interesting, because if it is all looking like a text information, it's going to be boring. So make the writing interesting by including some pictures, screenshots, or images wherever possible. And then also list your technical skills and soft skills in your portfolio. So ensure that they are highlighted. Finally, finding a job as a data analyst. We have come to the very last part of the talk today. Second, for finding a job, consider creating a profile on job portals like LinkedIn, Indeed, Naukri, etc. And do networking. Continue doing the networking. LinkedIn is an amazing medium where you can meet a lot of data professionals, connect with them, ask doubts. If not, you ask questions, you would never know what's happening in the data world. So ask questions, see through their posts, and do the learning there. And seek referrals. So if you see any relevant job posting that's asking freshers for the data analytics role, you could connect with the people working in that company and ask referrals. And continue attending conferences and competitions like hackathons that I've talked about. And throughout this job searching journey, so um, be mindful that job searching is not a 1 week or a 1 month journey. Sometimes it takes 6 months or 4 months to land a good job with a good package. It takes its own time depending on your preparation and your abilities. And the openings in the market is also plays a very important role for landing a good job. So throughout your job searching journey, continue enhancing your skill. Do not stop learning. Do not think that I've completed my learning, now I'm at the job searching stage, I don't want to learn anything new right now. No, that shouldn't be the thought. Continue with your learning even during your job searching journey. Huh. That's it for today. So you could find me at the datastories at gmail.com, or if you want to email me for any data related queries, you could consider emailing at these two email IDs. I'm on Instagram and LinkedIn. You can connect with me there as well to know my works. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Indumathi, for that enlightening session. Now we will open the floor for a question answer session. Feel free to ask your questions in the chat, and we will address them one by one.
Sir, how do we know the questions? Will that be taken from YouTube and posted it here? Or would you be moderating?
Okay, ma'am. Now we will end up the session, ma'am. As we come to the end of this enriching session, I would like to thank Ms. Indumathi Gunasekaran for sharing her expertise with us. A special thanks to our management officials, deans, principals, heads of various departments, faculty members, and all the participants for joining us today. Remember to share the YouTube live link for this session with your friends and family through WhatsApp groups so they too can benefit this valuable talk. Stay tuned for more sessions in our generic talk series. Thank you once again, everyone. Have a great day ahead.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Miss Indumathi. Thank you very much for thank you for very much for joining us, and we are very happy that you have enlightened our students with the way in which they'll have to move from the classroom into their career. And I'm sure that this will be a very useful session. And it is not only going to be useful for our students; it's going to be useful for the entire student community. So thank you so much for joining us, and we would like to get connected with you in the future also. So we would like to invite you to our campus in person so that you will be able to interact with our students in a more better manner. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank,
Thank you so much again for the invite.
thank you, Hindumati.
Thank you, sir.